Hi, everyone. This is Norman Kochnick here. I'm actually almost on time. This must be a record. Almost exactly 9 p.m. as planned. People are probably going to be shocked by that. The reality is that I've been very lucky to have the presence of Siddharth Vishy, as he calls himself. How are you, Siddharth?
Great, great. I mean, I'll be stepping out for the first time after 15 days. So quite excited.
Has the lockdown officially finished or?
Finished.
Wow.
But still a lot of restrictions in place. I mean, most places can't stay open beyond 8 o'clock.
Right.
So,
is that the whole area or is it just where you are?
In some places, yeah. In some places where I am, it's 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Everything is open. You can go to a restaurant, you can dine, but at 50% capacity. You can go to a mall, finally, after 2 months.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's opened up after a very long time. So, yes, there is a bit of excitement, but yes, we'll have to be very, very cautious. So even if I've taken the vaccine.
That's exciting. I'm very excited about that.
Yep.
Very happy with that.
I'm not as excited as the World Test Championship squads.
Oh, I mean, we're going to talk about that right away. Just quickly, as an aside, Siddharth, I was walking on Quidge Bay Road. Who did I bump into? Ben Cutting.
Wow.
And his wife, Erin Holland. Had a good chat with him. He's coming on the show in the next few days. He's in Sydney. He's actually, his wife lives up the road from me. I didn't know that. And he's in Brisbane, he's bouncing around, but he's spending obviously more time here now. And I said, have you got time? He goes, Norman, I've got time. He's a bit he's got not much to do at the moment. So that was great. And Alan Mullally's been fantastic. We've been in contact with there's a few New Zealand ex-players that we've been in contact with. We're trying to line them up for the next few days, or especially the World Test Championship. I can't name them yet, but there's some interesting names amongst them. I'll tell you that much now. Alan obviously knows all these people. And Jonty Rhodes have also approached. And Adam Holliott might be on today. Adam's sniffing around. He said he's going to try and get on, so we might get Adam. But I'm glad to have you, certainly. So I've really quickly, so we don't miss out on that. The New Zealand side was announced, squad that is, the 15 was announced first, with Santner being out of that squad. Do you think Patel will get a game?
Not against India, because, again, the same issue, the batting. If Patel plays, then Colin de Grandome's out. Do you really want de Grandome out, considering the English conditions? No. So my 11 for the World Test Championship when it comes to New Zealand would be Conway, Latham, Williamson, Taylor, Henry Nicholls, Watling, de Grandome, Jameson, Wagner, Bolt, Southey.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear.
The only one that I'm throwing in the works is Will Young, but I don't know whether that'll happen. But otherwise, it's exactly that. And see, de Grandome is really, I almost call him the Ian Botham of their side, or the Ben Stokes of their side. He can turn a match. He has that ability. So very important inclusion.
Because for this match, you will have to beef up your batting, because both the bowling sides can take 20 wickets. That's a given. They have got such depth and talent. So you have to beef up your batting.
Exactly. So effectively, it won't be. I mean, they've got a 6th day there in case of rain, as we've talked about, or the equivalent of 450 overs. The reality is this game will not go that long. I'm convinced it won't.
No.
There's no way. Bowling sides are too strong to allow that to happen. It's going to be dictated by the bowlers. But the team that wins the toss and bats first is a crucial win of the toss. I think they need to bat for sure. All right, so that's your New Zealand side. Now, of course, that was a bit of a shock. But the Indian squad that was selected, no Shardul, no Washington, no Axar, no
Mayan.
Exactly.
No KL Rahul.
As well. Wow. That's the pretty definitive. Well, that tells you they're going to stick to the tried and tested team, doesn't it, really?
I think the first instinct that I got when the Indian squad of 15 was selected is that they will play both Ashwin and Jadeja. They will
there's no doubt. No doubt.
Because it's a question of strengths. It's a question of playing to your strengths. What has worked for India? It's Ashwin and Jadeja. And they are masters in all conditions, because as Shane Warne rightly said, if it spins, if it seems, it will spin.
Absolutely.
And Southampton, as well as the Oval, are two of those wickets where you will get assistance on the 4th or the 5th days for spinners.
But at the same time, the strengths of New Zealand are not their spinners, so they're not putting any in there. Why put a spinner in that's substandard? Simple. And that's clever.
And imagine if Ageas Patel bowls to Rishabh Pant. I mean, Pant will turn the game over in just 1 over. Supposing New Zealand are 40 for 5, I mean, India are 40 for 5. Bowl Saudi, Wagner, Jameson are bowling. Pant is on strike. They get Ageas Patel in. Pretty soon, it will go to 200 for 5 in about the next 30, 40 overs. That is the impact Pant and the likes will have. And playing both Jadeja and Ashwin, you'll have 8 batsmen, 2 bowling all-rounders. Rohit, Shubman, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Pant, Jadeja, Ashwin. You have 8 batsmen. More than enough to do the job. Even if you don't succeed at that time, then there is absolutely no excuses whatsoever.
Yeah.
The only toss-up I feel would be between Siraj and Shami. I think Ishant and Bumrah will play. So my 11 would be Rohit, Shubman, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Pant, Jadeja, Ashwin, Ishant, Bumrah, Siraj/Shami.
So, is it possible that it could be Siraj/Ishant? Is it possible?
There is a vibe. I mean, you can't discount that. Yes, there is a vibe that Siraj will replace Ishant. But Ishant won India a test match in Lords. He almost won them the test in Edgbaston. He's got a superb record against New Zealand. He's got 3 5-wicket hauls against them. And he's a swing bowler. There, you want a bit of variety. Bumrah, Siraj/Shami are all hit-the-deck bowlers. So for experience, he's played 100 tests. Come on.
Yeah.
It would rather be better to have, because Bumrah selects himself. He's an automatic choice in the 11. Ishant, you need him for the experience factor, because he's played 2 tours in England. He stood there 3 times. So he will have experience. Shami has not played since Adelaide, when he got hit on the arm. He's not played since. He's played the IPL, but he hasn't played tests. Siraj in that time has played 5 tests. He helped you win Brisbane, whatever you may say, and he's in good form. So the first change would be Siraj, and then you have Jadeja, Ashwin.
No, it's intriguing. I think we're going to see a number of players potentially finish their careers on a high. If they, like, Watling, definitely.
Yep.
BJ Watling, definitely one. Ross Taylor?
Yes.
If he said, if they won the 19 World Cup, that may have been his last match. Now, this could also be then a swan song last match to him as well. He's intimating that in his discussions. And the way he's very vocal at the press conferences, I got a feeling he may be in his last match. So Watling and Ross Taylor. The other, the Indian side, could we be seeing the last of Ishant Sharma? Could we? If
Injuries, injuries have caught up to Ishant in the last couple of years. He's been injury prone. So I think after the England series, they may take a call on him because of the depth of talent that India has. Maybe Ishant might not want to feature regularly. They're also saying that it could be the last for Ashwin. I don't think so. Ashwin's got another good 2-3 years left in him.
I agree. I think Ashwin's not finished. But I think Ishant Sharma might see this as a crescendo for him. This is the ultimate in finishing performances, if they win. We're getting some great woohoo 2 days to go. Manu John's excited like hell, like we all are.
Yeah.
Ashwin might, World Cup, so very much the case. And also we've got another couple of comments there. Himanshu Chaudhary says this could be the last for Vishat and Umesh. We've just said that great comment, and that's a very relevant point. So and that you could even maybe consider Charmy. Maybe it's his last one too. You never know. You don't know. Because there's a lot of bowlers coming through, and it could well be that. But is it the last for? Okay, look at the other Indian batsmen. Let's try and think of now. I don't think if there's anyone else outstanding in the Indian batting lineup that could say that. No, Rahani's still got a few years to go. Kohli, obviously, Rohit and the like. Though, so that's probably.
Pujara too. Pujara too.
Pujara as well. But I think there's a crescendo going on with this series. It's a significant match. I still do not think the world has really understood or embraced this match just yet. It's happening, but in Australia, I spoke to Ben Cunning today. He gave me the impression that it wasn't quite fever pitch. It's going to be interesting. I'm hoping it will be. And look, tomorrow I'm on the streets again. I'm going to get a lot of people reaction to see what they think. Okay. So Himanshu Chaudhary, I've already spoken to him. Yeah, there's quite a few of our regulars here as well. The main concern for me is that rain doesn't dictate play for the whole test. If we lose a day, even 2 days, I still think there's a result of this. I think 4 days will be enough to get a result. I think it'll be a 4-day test. If it goes longer, well, fair enough. But I think 4 days, because of the bowling talents on show, we could be seeing a 4-day test.
Yep,
and that's okay considering the conditions and the rain. I think that's okay. But I'm super duper excited. I just can't wait. Now the women's cricket, just very briefly.
Yeah,
England have won the toss and elected the bat, and then none for 39 after 14 overs. That's intriguing to watch Mithali Raj's performance there. Is it her swan song? Well, there's a test in Australia. She might want to do that. But I think she's going to have to start looking at herself being in a swan song situation too. If they win.
Yeah. Well, she's the only one from the 90s to still be playing active cricket. If you have to look at it. 1999, she made a debut. She's still going strong. I don't see her retiring just as yet. Maybe she may want to retire after the 2022 World Cup in New Zealand. Maybe.
If
she may want to give. I think it should go ahead in New Zealand. I think there are no cases at the moment in New Zealand. So that is why I think she would want to give India glory one last time on the world stage and then probably retire. Probably. Because she's been appointed Test and ODI captain still. She's Test and ODI captain. So her value cannot be just. I mean, she's one of the greats, the all-time greats of women's cricket.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. She's very Sachin Tendulkar-like, isn't she, in her performances in terms of stature?
Yeah, longevity and as well as the amount of runs. I mean, she's the trendsetter. 7,000 ODI runs. No one's ever done it. She's done it. She's been part of every test match that India have played from 1999 till now. And how much is that number? 10. That is where my major gripe is. That's where my major problem is. We are celebrating this, but I think we shouldn't be celebrating this. It's a cause of concern.
And I think it's changing. I think there's evidence that it's changing. Just one quick thing. The dissension between Harmanpreet Kaur and Mithali Raj is quite deep.
Yeah, there was a lot of speculation. Yes, Mithali, Harmanpreet, but I think they sorted it out. I think it all sorted out when during the coronavirus situation, it was all sorted out. Because, yes, there are instances of ego clashes in the Indian team. I mean, Rohit Virat, there was this rumor going on in the 2019 World Cup that there was a deep tussle between them and the dressing room was fractured. I think it's not there anymore. The same, I think, happened with Mithali and Harmanpreet. But yes, Harmanpreet has not been the same since that incident. I mean, her runs have dried up. Her captaincy has also been under scrutiny. But I think she'll do well. I think this is a new start. First time India touring England for tests, ODIs, T20s, as well as Australia. But still, you put Indian cricket in the deep sea, especially the women. They haven't had a single pink ball practice. And you're going to play a pink ball test against the Aussies at Perth, WACA. Oh, God, it's not a good situation.
Well, Australia are really, quite frankly, Australia are streets ahead of the rest of the world at this moment in Test cricket, or in all forms of the game, women's cricket. It only gets better each year, and I see the evidence of that because I'm heavily involved, as you know. And I've got young Janatul Shamona, who has been player of both years. She's done extremely well, one for one club and one for another club, both Sydney and Bankstown. She's 2021, but she said, and she's played for a country. She says the hardest cricket she's ever experienced, but it brought the best out in her. And that's the key. The Australian players that are there domestically, it brings the best out of them, and they reach levels they never would imagine reaching because they're in constant competition with great players. If you're in the best comp in the world every week in a domestic format, every girl rises to the occasion. the standard of cricket, you would be astounded. If you go domestically to watch matches, which, you know, you would think the bottom two sides of the women's comp, they play a cracking level of cricket. It shocks you.
Look at the facilities that Australia provides for its women cricketers. It's on par with the men. And look at the way how Meg Lanning, Elise Perry, Megan Shaw, Jess Johnson, and Sophie Molyneux, the biggest clincher for all of these players has been the Women's Big Bash League.
Oh.
You've taken them to all corners of Australia, not just these 5 major towns. You play even at the Bankstown Oval. You play even in Alice Springs. You play in some other parts of Cairns, Darwin, in Allan Borderfield, in Townsville. You play outside of Sydney also. You've gotten cricket connected to them primarily due to the women cricketers. And the standard of the WBBL is massive. I mean, you can't compare any league, like how you can't compare IPL with any other T20 league. You can't compare the WBBL with any other league in the world.
No. And you mentioned some of the grounds, especially in Sydney. Bankstown Oval, Hurstville Oval, Drummoyne Oval, they are test quality wickets. They're not some park grounds. You wait until you come here. You'll be shocked. Bankstown Oval, you just mentioned it. You think the ground is picture perfect. Yeah. It almost looks like a test venue in most countries. It is an amazing ground.
Drummoyne is a brilliant venue.
Absolutely.
Right next to the sea, and you got a grass bank all over it. Yeah, and it's not that the ground is small. It's got big dimensions.
Oh, it's huge.
60, 70. I mean, I remember one hit by Courtney Webb. Courtney Webb in the BBL clash between Renegades and Sixers. She hit cap, and what power. It went all the way into the dressing room.
Absolutely. I mean, I still remember the day that I saw Elise Perry batting when she scored 200 against New Zealand. England was
England, the women's Ashes.
I tell you what, if you had to look very carefully, because I thought I was watching Shane Watson bat. The power of her shots were ginormous, and it was probably the best batting performance I have ever seen by a woman by 100 miles. She nailed it. They weren't bad bowlers. They were very good bowlers, and she drove, cut, pulled every shot in the book like magic. She could have scored 400 the way she was batting. It was just phenomenal batting. It was quite special to watch. So that match is going on. England haven't lost a wicket yet. They're number 41. Tanya Bharti is keeper, isn't she? I like her. I think she's a great talent. She's a very good talent. All right, so go back to the match just for a moment before you have to leave. Now, I spoke briefly to Ben Cutting, Adam Hollier, I've had a bit of a chat to, Alan Mullally, as I always do. They're also realising more and more the importance of this World Test Championship. And I implore people to forget how teams got there, and some less, some more, points here, points there. I don't care. We've got to forget all that now and realise this is a final. This is not a semi-final. And all these hoodoos that surround India of late are dispelled. They're in the final.
Yep.
New Zealand's the one with the so-called hoodoo of losing a final. Now, have they got that extra oomph, that extra edge to win this because of what happened in 19? I think they will. How many players are still on the side for that 19 match? Obviously.
You have de Grandhomme, you have Saudi, you have Bolt, you have Williamson, you have Nichols, and you have Latham. That's about it.
Taylor didn't play.
Ross Taylor, obviously. Taylor,
Okay. So the other matter was Conway wasn't there.
No.
So he has a fresh mind to this.
Yes.
Which I think, I'm sorry, that's going to be significant. Because that's going to really hurt them. Now, will it create a form of spooking in this match? Will they be against a brick wall? Will there be a mental difficulty that they're going to? I'm afraid there's going to be. Yeah. New Zealand are kind of expected to win this. There's kind of an expectation New Zealand win it. India are somewhat the underdogs because of the way things have gone. I think with Sachin Tendulkar saying that it should have been played after, which I agree. The two matches should have been played after. England should have played New Zealand after, really, in terms of the time.
I think it was pre-arranged a long time back before the cycle was created. And the main thing is why India are raising an issue about it now. No one expected New Zealand to go through. No one expected. And I'll tell you, they still would have not gotten through. Had Australia not been dogged those 4 points, they would have still managed to go through, even if the South Africa series was cancelled.
You know, that annoys me. That annoys me because I don't think Australia deserve to be even considered. That they're supposedly third at the moment. Really, they're fourth.
Yeah.
Really, they're fourth. Until they play the Ashes, Australia has no right to have jumped England, I think.
Yeah.
Even though I understand why. I understand New Zealand beat England at home. I get that. But technically, I don't think you shouldn't be allowed to go up. You should be able to go down, if that makes any sense. No. But I guess I have to go up. I guess, but to me, it's the Ashes that should determine who is third and fourth. Really, because they're not first and second. They're not first and second. Australia and England do not deserve to be any more than third and fourth.
Do you think, Norman, if Australia have to change their fortunes, because they have been in a decline for the last couple of years? I mean, they've had the odd moments, but against England, they have been struggling. Against the likes of India, they have struggled. Do you think they should now dump the Kookaburra and move to the Dukes so that they can get more accustomed to in Test cricket? Play Kookaburra with the Ageas and
I think the Dukes ball should be permanently used in Test cricket.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, in Australia, and we've got Alan Mullally that's joined us, who knows better than anyone what a Dukes ball's like in his hands.
Yes. Hi, Alan.
I've got some in my trophy cabinet. Have a look at them. Hello, how are you?
Good.
I'm sorry I'm a bit late, Norman. I was on the phone to Mahansi Konye's sister for about the past hour.
That's all right. We've got some interesting guests coming up. Alan's going to produce great guests, not only for this show, but for another offshoot YouTube
We've got to
channel
keep things very quiet, Norman.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the reality is that the Dukes ball, if it's used in all countries, will, I believe, create a leveler. What I mean by that is there'll be no excuses about balls in any other further comps. I think it's a great idea. I think all tests, because it allows the bowling team to come into play. What do you think, Alan?
Have you guys ever seen a Duke ball?
Yes. I've played with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you seen a Duke ball?
Of course.
Would you like to show me how you use it with your wrist properly?
Yep.
Well, it was a delight to hold the Dukes ball. Yep.
Shall I go and get one and show you what you do in swing it out?
Yeah, go on, quick, I'll get it.
Yeah.
So Alan's bringing on. There's going to be an interesting interview happening shortly with an extension of the Cronje family.
Wow.
And even some more players that have been on the outer of world cricket. A certain person from New Zealand, which I'm not going to mention.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can imagine who that might be, but we're not going to guess. So, so are you saying, Siddharth?
Yeah.
That as far as bookies are concerned, let's call them bookies, New Zealand's deemed to be favourites for this match?
Primarily, they are considered the favourites because they've played 2 tests in England already before this. So they are well acclimatized to it. Secondly, India have not played any kind of warm-ups. So that gives them that underdog edge. But again, this Indian team never believes in warm-ups. No. They are mentally strong. They'll just head to the pitch and perform. They don't believe in the warm-up like, oh, we'll have to play CA11, we have to play Hampshire, we have to play Essex just to get warmed up. No. I think this team is mentally strong enough in their skills to just get onto the park and turn on. Yes, but again, India has got big match experience much more than New Zealand. India won the Champions Trophy, they won the World Cup twice, they won the T20 World Cup, so they know how to win big games. New Zealand, apart from the Champions Trophy, have not won anything for 21 years. So,
go back further than 21 years.
Yeah. They've never won anything. That's the problem.
It's a huge watershed for New Zealand. Okay, here we go.
Wow.
Are there 2 Duke balls, are they? Yeah.
I'm trying to get the camera right.
Hang on. Hold it up for a second. Hold it again. I'm going to photo this. Hold them up. No.
Alan's like, yeah, this is the best angle. This is the best
angle. Out. So, okay, here we go. Right. There you go.
Yep, this is the best angle.
Perfect.
Wow. It's great to see Alan back with the Duke's ball. I mean,
right, that's a Duke ball, right?
Yeah.
That is the same.
Are they balls that you've actually bowled with?
Yep, that one I got 9 for 92 against Derbyshire. I think I got 8 for 80 or something. I don't know, some game.
8 for 80
at the Ageas Bowl. But I think it was 8 for 40. I don't know. There's so many, Norman. I just don't know. But my point being is, there's 2 balls, right? Have a close look at that one. Take a photo, Norman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, they're both the same age, right? Now, that one, actually, I could quickly polish it up for you if you want.
I've got some sandpaper. You need some sandpaper?
No, it's called polishing the ball, Norman.
I've got some sandpaper.
It's better. Bit shinier.
Wow. Yep.
Rough side.
Shiny side.
Two side, shiny side. So to bowl the in swinger, like that.
Yep.
Lock your wrist. Get there. Turn the door handle at the last minute. In swinger. Same ball to the right hander. First slip. Right. That's first slip. Lock your wrist. Goes away. Now that is the same ball, but that one there is on a bowler friendly pitch, right? Bit of grass. That one is on a not so friendly pitch, where it's rough and tough. You have to work really hard to shine the ball. It's bruised and battered.
Put it up again. Put it up again. The same.
So, but I can still shine it. What you have to do on a hard wicket.
But I think
you do that.
I think in COVID times we can't use saliva. I think
same ball, right? Same ball.
Yep.
It's silly not to use saliva. I mean, that's ridiculous. If both teams sit up, if both teams are in a bubble, they don't need to worry about those rules. It's a silly rule.
Yeah, I'm with you. Right,
sit up.
Here we go.
Sit up. You understand? Sit up. Sit up. Can you hear me? Sit up.
Norman, your voice is breaking up. I can't hear.
Okay.
A little shinier, right? Because that's a bit shinier, and that side is rougher, right?
Yep.
Where's the background lesson number 1? No one's looking. No one's looking. No one's looking. Can't see a thing. Then you get your reverse swing. There you go. Masterclass number 1.
Perfect. Siddharth, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, I was just saying that I've lost what I was going to say. Damn it. It was about.
By the way.
About.
Oh, wow. Champions.
What does it say?
Champions.
That's right. No, you idiot. Look at the red dye.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Right, you're showing those 2 balls.
Yeah, he wasn't just showing us his leg.
No, work hard in the ball.
I just think that the Duke's ball would be a great leveler. You're right. And I don't think we're going to really see big batting scores, I'm afraid. The more I look at this match and the bowling lines that both sides will have, they're going to be lethal, both of them. And the batters are going to look very ordinary, I'm afraid to say. It's going to take a Pujara to hold up one end to make India look better, I think. And in New Zealand's case, Conway and his left-hand batting will be very important. I actually predict that Williamson...
Oh,
Taylor,
Lordy. Okay, Here we go. Can I butt in for a second? I've done my research.
What's that? So what does it say?
The game starts on Friday?
Yep.
Yes, 18th. Yep.
90% chance of rain. A top of 17. Saturday cloudy, 18. Sunday 80% rain, 17. Monday 80% rain. I told you, Norman. I've made a phone call. It could be rained out.
Sunday, do you really think it's rain? I think it's still going to be.
Tuesday 7% rain. Wednesday 60%. Thursday 60. Air pollution is -2. Chance of rain today's 50%. Visibility 16.1 kilometers visibility. Feels like 24 because it's humid, 57%. 9%. Rain. Read to the test match.
So, but hang on. This is what Munchie said, and he's our local weather force guy. He said there are mixed reports across different agencies. Rain for sure on Friday and Saturday. Saturday is dry, but the Sunday, Wednesday there's different levels of rainfall. So, with Friday being deemed to be rainy, okay, we get a 6th day. Simple answer. With a Saturday being dry, we'll get a day to day and a half in then, right? Yep. Which we'll certainly see 1 to 2 innings underway. I think we're still going to see a match.
A whole test match?
Very hard. Okay. Very hard.
Do you have a kookaburra there? Al, do you have a kookaburra as well? Can you show the difference?
Oh, in the shed. Can you give me 2 seconds? I can dig one out.
Yeah, go on, quick, go.
We're going to go back to my shed. Give me.
That's right.
Well, you've got a gas bag, mate. Give me about 5 minutes.
Okay, no worries. That's a good thing. It's actually good to compare. Some people say that the seam of a kookaburra looks more pronounced, but it's actually not true. The Duke's ball is more pronounced and has a better, longer shine. And as I think I mentioned earlier, is actually, I believe, smaller. I've held Duke balls and I can hold them very easily in my hand. Whereas a kookaburra, depending on the dimensions of the kookaburra, they can be quite fat in your hand.
Yes, they are. But the Dukes is a great ball to have hold and bowl with. It's fantastic.
So why do they have an SG ball? What's the purpose of an SG ball? Why do they have that ball?
I think the Dukes, if it's in these rough conditions in the subcontinent, I think it doesn't last. So that's why they had to get the mixture of the SG ball. The SG has a more pronounced seam, but it will last longer.
Right. Okay.
That's why. I think the Dukes, because look at the conditions in England, you will not have any dry outfields. It's all lush. Same in Australia, lush outfields. Yeah. So that's why the Dukes might last a bit longer. In the subcontinent, the Dukes will just get abrased and will be unusable. So that's why the SG is one factor.
So what's your filing protocols or your routine with the filing of your journalist reports? What's your routine?
Well, it depends on firstly the shift that we have. Supposing it's the Euro shift, any time between 3 p.m. IST to 3 a.m. IST is our shift. We have to file our Euro reports on the trot. If there is something which is of more importance, breakouts, we do that. For the World Test Championship shift, it will again be 3 to 12. Because I think we are going to have matches extend till 12:30. 98 overs. Because if the first day is rained out totally, every day will be 98 overs.
So at this point, I still don't know from what Munchie's. I'm not sure what Munchie said, but rains everywhere. You can't have all the tournaments in India. All right.
The reserve venue can be in the same country.
Now,
if they don't want rain, if they don't want any rain, play it in a neutral venue, play it in Abu Dhabi, Dubai. You'll never get rain there. If we are so concerned about the rain, play in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or Sharjah. It never rains there.
So there's no So first of all, there are crowds for this match, correct?
Yep.
Limited media. No, in fact, there's no Indian media though, is there?
No Indian media. No.
But will there be English media allowed and New Zealand media?
Some English media, some New Zealand media will be allowed. Not many, but there'll be some.
Okay.
But I think the June 21st lockdown thing, lifting the lockdown has been pushed back to a further 4 weeks. So I think there will be restrictions in place even now.
So, man, Munchie's right though. Who wants? I'm getting a bit sick of playing games in the UAE because it becomes rather. It's not a true game.
Yeah, indeed. So yes, I just hope that rain doesn't play that much of a spoil sport. But it's England; it can rain anytime, and even they get it wrong.
You know what? The more someone says it rains, the more likely it doesn't rain. You know that, don't you?
But you can't play in Australia right now. Right? It's too cold.
Oh, now it's too cold. Well, if you go to Darwin or say Townsville, you could play. Well, today was 22 degrees. Overnight it was cold, but today it was actually 22 degrees Celsius. It was bizarrely warm today. It rained a bit in the afternoon. So, all right. So, do you have to? Do you have your filing? Have you got to go physically somewhere in office today or not? You're still working from home now.
Still working from home. No office until October. You don't have to go there till October. After that, we may have to go, depending on the vaccination, depending on how things are. I think we'll have to do it at that time. So let's see. We have time till October. 3 months more.
So the numbers are actually dropping. Are they dropping?
Yes, they are. But then again, we don't know the real picture. It may happen because of lack of testing. I think there's not enough testing being done. People don't want to tell the real numbers. So maybe it is dropping, but we don't know the real picture. I just hope it is dropping.
Because let's be honest, your the rigor of your testing, the tracing is non-existent. So you have no idea. Absolutely.
No idea.
I mean, Australia have gotten so fine-tuned. They're actually working on sewage systems where we're flying from certain areas and know where the virus is lingering. What have we got here? What's he's got a
look at Alan's new
Brian Lara shirt?
Cricket Australia.
Dare I say it? Cricket Australia. You're right there, Mum.
And he got it from the shed.
This one,
Is it a Brian Lara shirt?
Lara Mania, yeah.
Brian,
277.
Punt Mania, now we've got Lara Mania. Would you hyphenate Mania? I think Punt Mania should be one word. Sit up. The word Punt Mania is one word. It's not hyphenated, is it?
Yeah. I think he's got 277 Lara score, 128 by Kumar Sangakkara. Oh no.
Well, you asked about cricket balls and stuff. That's a speed gun.
Whoa.
Which is
Put it to your left.
Wow.
it needs a battery.
Oh, so you didn't say it froze at 188 kilometers per hour.
They are my coaching cones. Yep. Right. I was given this. So this T-shirt I was given to me, a bit tight, by Brian Lara many moons ago.
Wow.
Right. Now, I've got cricket balls in here somewhere.
Just quickly while you're doing that, the playing 11 again, just in case that people sit up.
Yeah.
That's a Kookaburra. That's definitely a Kookaburra.
Yep.
Yeah. You see, it's bigger, it's fatter.
Yeah.
It's definitely fatter than a.
That's a club-sized cricket ball.
But still, it would be pretty close to the mark.
No, well, yeah, that's called regulation. I think you use those in A grade normally. You do that and go. Oh. Sorry, get the hang of things. That way.
Yep.
Okay.
So show us the two balls together. Definitely smaller.
No, same size, different seam.
Sorry, hang on. That's a Kookaburra. Okay, Kookaburra, right? Okay.
Kookaburra, substandard.
Yeah.
Kookaburra, knackered.
Yep. I think Alan should come back. He still looks good.
He's very fit.
Indeed.
I mean, but Siddharth,
okay.
if I faced him, I would just step inside and I'd smack him over the actual backward square boundary. When I played, I love left-arm bowlers. I had a Dennis Amos batting stance. I was more face on, front on, and I would just get back and just go crunch. I love because it suited me. It just came, and if they tried to swing it, I would clip it like very much like Conway does. Clip it aerial over a short square leg.
Norman,
there'll be a day, Alan, when I face you.
You're not winning. You're not winning. You're not winning.
Quickly, before Siddharth goes, show us the balls. Both balls.
I'm trying to find a comparison to that one.
Quick.
I'm trying to find the equivalent.
I love the way that most people say hello to you, Siddharth, and Alan. They don't say hello to me. I guess I'm just institutional.
Hello, Norman. How are you?
Good. Okay.
I'm trying to figure
closer.
These cameras are driving me nuts. Okay. Oh, hang on. That one.
A bit to your left, Alan.
Yeah, to your left. Alan, to your left. Left. No. Now in the middle. No, not that far left.
You got me there? You got me there? Siddharth?
Yeah, got it.
Can you put both balls together, please?
Norman, do I look like Albert Einstein?
Keep going. Perfect.
Wow.
There we are. There it is. There's the shot. Money shot. Okay.
Or, you know what? I'll tell you what, Norman, you can record this and Siddharth, record this. That's what we use in, oh, shit. Wrong hand. Thing is, Siddharth, I'm left-handed, right? So I get things wrong. Like my sister Norma is right-handed, and it took her so many years to teach me to tie my shoelaces because I do it left-handed. It's all back to front.
Oh yeah. Left-handers have different.
I'm like, I don't understand. I'm left-handed.
Yes.
So right.
Well, I can only say one thing, Alan. Seeing you with the ball, and it's bringing back a lot of good memories.
Right. That
there was a certain over that.
This is what you use. This ball here, brand new.
Yeah.
Regulation. That's what you use in A grade over here, right? I'm pretty sure. And club cricket. And then when you move into first class cricket, they're called Kookaburra turf, I think. Well, they were. Yeah. But you know what? That's brand new, right?
Wow.
This one here is beaten, battered, and bruised. The Duke, which Norman was talking about before. You know what? Give me that anytime. Give me that bad boy anytime. The seam's a bit knackered.
You get incredible control over that ball. The Duke's ball has a lot more control.
Give me that ball anytime. Give me that ball anytime. That way. That way. That way. That way. That way. Anytime. And give me your best batsman.
And Dukes will keep swinging. It's not as if it will stop swinging in England. It will keep swinging. The old one swings a lot better. That's why I like the Dukes even better.
Siddharth, if you notice, if you look closely, I'll try and bring it close if I can. Oh, God, going the wrong way. Look, wrong way. That way? Yep. Jibbers. Should we?
Yeah, this is an interesting point that Munchie's brought up, that Ashman's also stated a liking for the big ball.
See how it's getting old?
Yeah.
And it's
a four-piece ball. It's a four-piece ball. Four-piece ball.
They cost about £150 each.
Whoa.
Because it's four pieces. It's much more complicated to actually put that together.
It's the best cricket ball in the world.
Yep. I think Kookaburra is stitched, if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
It's stitched.
The seam is different.
Yep. Seam is totally different.
That's a worn ball. That ball's about Oh God, gosh.
You got to get a pair of scissors for the kookaburra ball because the seam always pops out.
Years old.
Yep.
I did have. I tell you, I did have stuff. I did have a kookaburra from Pakistan. That was like concrete. But I took it to India when I was coaching there. Go to some people there. I might have to have a word and get some more shipped over. But do you see how?
Yep. Yeah.
Inside, it gets
more
worn.
Yep.
Now, let me do. I'm getting the hang of things.
Yeah, this side is on your right is much more worn. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then they because when I bowled with this one, you hit the seam.
Yep.
There, right? Bang on. So they get worn a bit thinner, right? Then when you bowl,
watching a replay of Alan Bowl to a left-hander, could have been Ganguly, was the most magnificent. That was a magnificent over.
Yeah, I mean he troubled Ganguly left, right, and center.
Yep. So you shine that one.
But there'll be a day when Alan bowls to me, and I will just take one step to offside and just go crunch.
Whereas that's the kookaburra.
Yeah, it's a softer look.
It's a rubbish ball. You know what?
Would you put your fingers? Alan, answer this question. Answer this question. Alan, answer the question. Would you bowl fingers together or fingers split?
Which one?
I don't know. You tell me.
You ask me a question, I'll answer it. Okay.
The question is, Munchie says, Spider, would you bowl fingers together or split fingers?
Okay. I understand. For the in-swinger, the out-swinger, or what? There's so many options.
Okay. We're going to say goodbye to Siddharth now. You've been much longer than I thought you were going to stay. Thank you, Siddharth.
Yeah. I think I did the right thing. I at least got to see Alan relive his glory days back. That's the best thing I could ask for.
Exactly.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you so much for those tips.
All right, Siddharth. Talk to you tomorrow.
Siddharth, I'm not reliving my glory days.
I at least got a masterclass from you. At least I got a masterclass from you about deliveries, about the balls. I'm glad for that.
Do you remember Hansi Cognier?
Of course.
I'm getting messages on my phone above on my iPad from Hester, his sister. Who's organising some coaching, by the way. That's for me and you, Norman.
Okay.
In South Africa.
I've got a few friends there. Hester is a very good friend of mine.
Well, Jacques Rudolph is a good friend of mine.
The reason I was a bit late today, I was on the phone to Hester Cognier, Hansi Cognier's mum. She's a lovely lady. And she spoke Afrikaans to my mum about going shopping.
Wow.
So you're saying your mum speaks Afrikaans?
Pardon?
Do you know Afrikaans?
No. Nor does my mum. I know Gaan Hou and Asseblief.
Okay. Okay, guys. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks.
Get back to you guys.
Thanks, Alan.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Bye.
Ciao.
Would you bowl fingers together or split fingers? Well, I'll tell you what.
So go into more detail now, because you can go into more detail.
Shiny side. That's the shiny side. Rough side. The Duke. Right? If I'm bowling to a right-hand batsman, I'll hold the ball. I'm trying to get it right like that. Can you see it? Pretty if I stand back more. Right? Right-hand batsman. Seam towards fine leg. Lock the wrist. When I get there, hang on. Let me do this properly.
When you say explain lock your wrist. What do you mean by lock your wrist?
Well, you have your wrist like the same dead straight. You have the shiny side, right? And the rough side. If you hold the ball like that, dead straight, right? That's dead straight, right? You do that, it won't swing. It will seam, won't swing. But if you do that there, that Wes Malcolm taught me, right? that there is to in swinger to the right-hander, out swinger to Brian Lara, right? In swinger to Damien Martin, out swinger to Brian Lara. Then you lock your wrist. So if you do that, it gets floppy, right? It can go anywhere, right? You have to have a strong wrist. So there you go. Locked, ready for an in swinger to the right-hander. Then you lock your wrist like that. So it goes from there to there. And then when you get to the top, you turn the door handle. It makes it go late. And then right-hander, same thing. Steve Waugh, Mark Waugh, doesn't matter. Aim the seam. Right? So the keeper is there. Aim the seam towards first slip. Then lock your wrist. You just lock it that way. And strong front arm. Get your hips through the crease. That's it. Now, if you want to bowl 2 pounds.
Just have a look at Matt Munch. He's got another question there for you. Just read, not more of a statement. Read that out.
I would bowl fingers together so I could use both fingers for good grip when bowling cutters. But I've seen bowlers use both techniques, i.e. both fingers along the seam or either side of the seam. Well, you know, it depends what you fancy. There's no written rule. It's what feels good for you. Some guys like a long run up, some guys don't. Like for me, it's quite simple. Just pick the ball up. I'll try it now. Sit on my finger, go dook, there you go. Ball to a right hander, so I've got it locked and loaded. Try to get that's better. Sideways, yeah? It's going to fine leg.
Did you use your height?
Yeah. So fine leg, go there, and lock your wrist, and flick it. Then, same thing, head still. The most important thing when it comes to bowling is a strong base, strong legs, strong tummy, strong backside. But that's very important. And tummy is very important, right? And Norman, we laugh and joke. We were going through a fitness regime. Don't you worry about that. But most importantly, like bowling fast or batting or golf, like my dad taught me, hockey, which I played, soccer, left foot, right foot, doesn't matter. Most important thing, keep your head still.
Same with batting.
Balance.
Same with batting.
Yep.
Same with
Keep
batting.
your head still.
Same with batting.
I don't know
or
why
bowling.
you said yeah, because my batting was rubbish.
No, batting as well. Okay, just a quick thanks for that. Well, that was fantastic, by the way, Alan. It was great. So, who will be the X factor according to you, Alan, for this?
Ashwin or Stokes?
Sorry?
Ashwin or Stokes?
Ashwin?
Okay, you got, I think, Bumrah. The key players for India is Bumrah and Kohli. For England, it's going to be...
Not England, New Zealand.
Oh, sorry, New Zealand. Oh, geez, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
New Zealand will be Williamson or Bolt. The standout players... Sorry, I'm getting confused now with England. Sorry, let's start again. For India, it's going to be Kohli or Jasprit Bumrah. For New Zealand, it's going to be, I think, the match winners will be Trent Bolt or Williamson. The match winner, I know it's going to rain a lot, so it makes it hard now. It's trying to change things. My money was on Ashwin. I'm kind of like, if they do play any cricket, my money's now going to be on either Bolt or Bumrah or the Indian keeper batsman.
Punts. Rishabh Pant.
Right. It makes it hard now because I've read the forecast. I've spoke to people. 2 o'clock in the morning, Norman, I'm working on the phone. They're out. It's going to rain. If it's a dry deck, it's not going to be a dry deck. It's not going to be dry condition. It's my home ground. If I was to pick one standout player of the whole lot, Bumrah.
Bumrah. Essentially, nobody's been talking about Bumrah, and I think that was remiss of them. I agree with you. I think he's going to be very significant.
To be the X factor. He's got pace. Just put if you gamble in India, lads, ladies, go to the bookies. Bumrah. That's my money.
Okay, in terms of batters, you're talking about Kohli and Williamson. You think that both, as captains, are going to put their stamp on this match and bat particularly well?
Yes, they've got a point to prove. It's a one-off test match. Who's the best in the world? No, I know when I played in the World Cup or whatever. Give me the ball. Forget the media. Forget your rubbish. Give me the ball. When I played for Leicester to win the championship at the Oval in 1998, then Alex Stewart, Grant Thorpe, Mark Butcher, you name it, they had it. Give me the ball. Let's win this game. We won in 3 days. The best players go, you know what? Give me the ball. Give me the bat. Stand up.
Exactly. Like a both of them. Now, Munchie's being a bit cheeky here. He's saying that gambling is their second national sport. That may well be the case. We've said who the X Factor has been here. We've talked about Bumrah. That's been answered. This man thinks it's Siraj. Well, if he plays, it could well be. Siraj's bowling action. What do you think of Siraj's bowling action?
The right armour?
Yeah. The bloke with the little goatee.
Yeah. I think India have been brilliant. They really have. I think a large part of it is down to the fact they got a lot more money there in India. The grounds are magnificent. So the guys can actually feel it. They can dive and slide and express themselves. When I was there, it was like concrete. In 1989, Tamil Nadu.
Well, Tamil Nadu is very much a spinning set of decks.
Oh, Chennai. Oh, look, I bowled there rapid to, oh God, Shivaram Krishna.
Yes, Lakshman. So Krishna. He's
no, not Lakshman. He's a leggy. Shivaram Krishna. Oh, yeah. You're talking 1988, 9.
I know, it's a long time ago. I appreciate that. But all right. So what I'm going to do with you in the future, Alan, is we're going to get a lot of other players, former players, yourself, to go through a lot of aspects of history, as well as the ball handling, or the way you hold a ball, the way that you used to conduct a training session. I mean, conducting training sessions these days, I've seen some of the efforts. The women's cricket is a shocker. They basically have this. They just hit the ball up in the air and they catch it. There's nothing to that. What do you think is the best?
But seriously, Norman, I was on the phone to Hester. Love it. I've known her for 30 years. It's good. It's Huntsy's sister. We're going to have, like you said, some surprises. Franz Connier, maybe John C. Rhodes, and a few others. And Richie, I'm waiting on.
So what's?
But we can't give all the cats out of the bag, can we?
Hansi Cronje, how old would he be now if he was still alive? In 50s?
Oh, 49, 50. Yep. I talked to his mum earlier on.
Yeah, what was she?
Lovely woman.
Yeah.
She goes, I cannot believe you remember all of what we spoke about in 1994. I said, well, I do. I said, when you respect someone, you do.
Do you think someone's going to score a century in this test match?
Well, you don't know.
The conditions
in England, right? They have the decks under covers. But just look at that, there's a lot of rain around. And Norman, the thing is, it's a bit like Sydney where it just drizzles all day. Like here in Perth, you get a thunderstorm or heavy rain, and that's it, right? You got the fear doctor blows it over. Whereas like Sydney, it just drizzles, right? Southampton, be overcast and just misty and drizzly and 18 degrees. Look, it's going to be hard work to get that test going. My mate owns a joint, so we'll see.
I still think there'll be a match, and I still think there'll be a result. I still maintain that. The attitude of both teams will be to win the match. No one's going to go in there attempting to draw.
But you can't win the match if you can't get on the ground, Norman.
No, but what I'm getting at, the players' mentality will be to win at all costs. There's no such thing as, we'll play for a draw, we'll defend an innings. They're all going to be playing to win. And New Zealand showed that with Williamson in the first test match against England. He declared early and gave England a fair chance. I actually think that New Zealand will declare, if they have to, in some form, to give India a chance to win, meaning that the game will be on until the end. So we might see some very daring declarations in an attempt to get the game won. Are you ready? I can't see it. They shouldn't show the number.
Take a photo.
Yeah. Who's that? All right.
Hang on.
What's that?
Now, the one I just called was Darren Ridge. He's Rod Bransgrove's neighbour. They're mates of mine, right? Rod Bransgrove is the boss at the Ageas Bowl, right? So I phoned him to ask for a weather report. I've got the weather report. Now, do you want to say hello to Hester Cronje, Hunt's brother?
Sure.
What do you mean? Don't get bashed.
I'm not doing anything.
No, just listen to this. They've got an African grey. She goes, finally, I'm going to talk. Been on the phone for 2 hours, right? Just listen.
Now she's talking.
Who's that? Okay, come on. Now don't. What are you showing? What are you showing?
Hester Cronje, Hunt's sister, and the African grey.
Is she's on? She's live now.
No, but you should record this.
Okay, all right. We need to. No, that's enough.
Yeah.
Come on. We shouldn't be showing that. It's against her.
That's Hunt's sister.
Very nice. All right. Okay. Alan, don't show anymore, please. Okay. All right. Okay, Al, that's recorded.
Norman, look in the background, by the way. That's my point.
They're very nice.
Look in the background.
Okay, let's go back. We've got plenty of questions. We've got plenty of questions we need to answer.
Okay, throw at me.
Will Rohit Sharma score the most runs in the World Test Championship? Geez, it's hard to say anyone will score the most runs. To me, it's a matter of survival. I think Pujara will. Myself. And Conway. Well, Conway got a double.
I have had good chats with Shane Warner, but he thinks Kohli is better than Sachin, right? Well, let's see it. Bring it this game. Because I know one thing. If I had to walk out to bowl at my best to Sachin or Kohli, bring me Kohli. Game over. Sachin would win that game.
Interesting.
My point being is, I truly believe that Sachin is he is a far better player than Virat Kohli, and he's a very good player. Very good.
Do you mean in terms of
Sachin,
technique,
right?
Or do you mean technique, or do you mean mental temperament, or what do you mean? What do you say he's better at? Why?
Kohli's a lovely player to watch, a bit like a right-handed David Gower, right? I think a lot of it is false bravado with his face, sledging people. First playing, like, mate, please. Now, my point being is this. The best, the toughest was Steve Waugh. Correct?
Oh, for sure.
And he's a good friend of mine, as you know. When I spoke to him, God, I speak to him, we talk about cricket, we talk about life, right? That's one thing. Then we talk about cricket, and he just laughs. I said, Steve, I don't quite get it. This was about a month ago. He goes, well, Al, what do you mean? I said, well, your mental disintegration thing. He started laughing. I said, is that meant to be where we kind of like feel insecure and we're not any good and you're sledging me? He goes, yeah. Well, it didn't quite work. He goes, you know what he said to me? Al, on you, no. You know why? Because you kept laughing at me and I did not know what to do. There's a quote for you.
What?
Well, Steve Waugh's mental disintegration didn't work. My point being is, Kohli's the same. Oh, I'm a tough nut from India. Get in your face. Please. You wouldn't last 5 seconds with me.
But Shane Warne was
That's how
pretty
I
good.
played the game. Pardon?
But Shane Warne was pretty good.
It's all false bravado. Because when push comes to shove, you turn and go, Mr. McGrath, Steve Waugh, I'll see you at the back of the pavilion after the game. Which I did do. With Steve Waugh and McGrath. And that's my... But also, the great thing is, afterwards, have a beer. Al, you cost me $3,000 and a fine. Oh, my God. This, that, and the other. So my point being is, it's interesting. Okay, if I had 3 batsmen, right? Lara, hello, right? Kohli and Sachin. If I had to pick a 2 batsmen to save a game and to win a game, if I had to pick 2 out of those 3, who would I pick as a bowler?
As a bowler, what do you mean? To bowl against?
Fast,
to bowl against? To bowl against or to bowl with?
To bowl against. If I'm bowling to Sachin, Lara or Kohli,
well, it'd be Sachin and Lara.
To save the game, there's a chance to win the game. Who would I?
Lara.
I guess my point being is, who would I put my life on to turn the game from a possible situation?
I mean, you'd have to say Lara because Lara was one of the best match winners.
Sachin, Lara, and Kohli. I'd love to bowl to him. I'll get him out for fun. He plays to lose.
So what are you saying? To me, Lara was the most exciting when he decided to turn the screws, for sure. That 277.
I've got Sachin out. Who would I rather bowl to if they needed to score? I don't know. Okay, let's say 4th innings. They need, I don't know, X amount of runs. 350. They're 4 down. Lara comes in, right? You would think, so they're 4 for 80, right? And Sachin, 4 for, I've been there, done that, 4 for 80, right? When I bowl to them, I'm still wary that they can turn this game on a dime and win the game, right? If Kohli came in, same situation, 4 for 80, please give me the ball.
Yeah.
And it goes back also to the false bravado. Kohli, we're India, we're tough. Not really. Lara's tough, Viv's tough, Sachin tough as nails. Now Kohli didn't play for India the way Sachin did. 16 years of age. Seriously? You want to compare Kohli to Sachin? Please. That's just my opinion.
Well, Virat Kohli's had a pretty...
In my heyday, I bowled to Sachin, got him out, but man, he was awesome.
How did you get him out?
I would have loved to have bowled to Kohli. A few bounces at 90 mile an hour. Not this really quick stuff at 86 mile an hour. Like Ben Cummings and Patterson, 88 mile an hour. Well, please do me a favour. And what's your man from England? The right arm quick fella who bowls 88 mile an hour. He's always injured. Jofra what?
Jofra Archer.
Oh, please, do me a favour. Alan Donald hit me in the head 97 miles an hour. Jofra Archer, at his best, might clock 90. Oh, please, do me a favour. So, Mr. Kohli, I would have loved to have bowled to him. I got clocked at 94 mile an hour, bowling to Brian Lara.
So, hang on. Tell me how you got Sachin out. Did you have a plan? Did you have a certain... So the ball was going away from him?
Did I have a plan? Actually, I played Trent Bridge Test match, Pavilion End, 96, bowled round the wicket. George Sharp. Google that one. I know the guy's following Will. It was his first Test match. And I bowled round the wicket. Sachin, right? Big noise. Everybody went up. And Sachin went to walk off. And I turned around to George and said, cut it. He's like, what do you mean? I said, cut it. Put your hand down. He's like this. Put his finger up, right? I said, cut it. I said, mate, didn't hit it. Then Sachin went back. True story. It actually smacked 170 odd then, right? And I went back past George. Goes, what do you mean? I said, mate, it's your Test debut as an umpire. If I'm going to get the best in the world out, I'll get him out properly, not by cheating. He didn't hit it. That's it.
So you suggesting that?
Say that because Sachin then was on about 20 or 30. Then he made 174 or whatever. He made lows.
So if your left-arm bowler, your Trent Bolt, okay, was the best comparison to you, okay, would you?
No. Wade McRae, Alan Mullally, and kind of like. No.
It's not about. I'm not talking about how good they were. I'm talking about that you're both left-handers. That's what I'm trying to get at. So if you're Trent Bolt, what advice would you give Trent Bolt when he bowls to Sharma, Gill, Rahane, Kohli? What advice would you give to him? Because that's
give me half an hour. That guy, I could change his old. The whole lot. He's all one-dimensional with a big smile.
Oh, he's not a bad bowler, though. He can't knock his bowling. His bowling's been fantastic. He's got a great record. He hasn't got a bad record at all. He can't knock his bowling.
It could be better.
Are you talking about technique now? You're not talking about. You're talking about technique, the way he holds the ball. What are you saying? We should actually get what we should do is we should probably get a recording of Bolt bowling and looking at his hand position or his wrist cocking position and see what he's doing right or wrong.
No, he's a fantastic bowler. When I spoke to Simon Dooley, I said, please do me a favour. Send a message to Trent Bolt. I don't know him. That I love his bowling, but he needs to swing the ball more and smile more. And he cracked up laughing. He could tidy things up. That's all I'll say.
So, what are you suggesting?
He could pitch. He just tidy things up more. If he tidy things up more, that's how we speak in the cricket world, right? As a fast bowler, tidy things up more. He'd then move up to the Wade McRae level. I know you got records and all that sort of stuff. Here's the thing, right? I got dropped when I was playing for England, ranked number 2 in the world, won the world. And that's why Graveney dropped out the other day. When he said things like, how many wickets did you get? You can't swing it back in. Really? Check through the records. Ask Jacques Callis. Ask Timmy Martin. Ask Tom Moody. From county cricket to Test cricket to one days to World Cup. Graveney wants to use that, Norman, and I will say this, right? Just listen. as an excuse as to why they dropped me when I was number 2 in the world. Who does that?
Yeah.
They just said, "Well, you're too laid back." No, you don't like me because I am laid back. And that's why, you know, the first time, Norman and Grav, and they had to try and drag it back by going, "Oh, well, you know, yeah, there's a batsman for and keeper for Australia called Gilchrist." Oh, he's my bunny. Then the other night, tried to say, "Well, how many wickets did you get out?" I don't know, that's 1,000, 300. I said, "It doesn't matter to me, Grav. What matters to me, you saw the whole trophy cabinet, the 2 Sheffield Shield medals, the 2 Championship medals with Leicester, the most unfashionable county in the country. That's what matters to me. So, Grav, do me a favour." I won't say it here, but yeah. It does upset me when he starts insulting me about what I can and can't do.
Look, I agree. Now, let's go back to the test. There's a number of people that have joined us new in this second part of the discussion. And Siddharth was online earlier as well. And the sides that are most predictable to pick, and I'll go through them. The Indian batting order will be...
hang on, Harsh's thing, oh my lord. 1 spinner.
There's going to be 2 for England, for India.
Yeah, one spinner, Ashwin, and then 3 seamers.
Well, they can afford a 4th seamer.
Which one?
Well, Ishant Sharma, Bumrah, Shami, and Siraj. But the fact is, this is what Siddharth said, and I kind of agree with him. The Indian batting lineup will be Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, then Punt. So that's Gill, Sharma, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane. Punt at 6. 7 will be Ashwin, Jadeja. 8 will be Ashwin, and there'll be 3 bowlers. Bumrah with the combination.
Jadeja, which one's Jadeja?
Sorry? The spinner, the left-arm spinner. Great fielder, great batter.
No.
It looks like he's being picked. I think it's a certainty. In your thoughts, that's fine, but I think that he will be picked. I think they're going to pick him because he has this ability to bat well as bowl, and he and Ashwin have got the best bowling records in total. So on that basis alone, they're going to put them in. I'd say they're record-wise, they're best bowlers, not necessarily best pace bowlers. I get that, but I'm afraid they're going to be in the side. It looks pretty certain. And New Zealand. So for our viewers, so you give me your 11, and I'll give you my 11. Okay, Alan.
Huh?
I'll give you my 11, and you give me your 11. Okay. So I've got Rohit Sharma with Shubman Gill, Pujara at 3, Kohli 4, Rahane 5, Punt 6, Jadeja 7, Ashwin 8, 9 will be probably, I'm going to say Bumrah. 10 will be, I'm saying Shami, and the 11 will be either Ishant Sharma or Siraj, but it'll be in that mix. So what's your 11? What's your 11?
I'm reading this stuff. Oh, hang on.
Okay, that's my 11. Siddharth had a
Just
similar
with me.
11.
I'm looking at all sorts of.
Because Shardul's not there, Washington's not there, Agarwal's not there, KL Rahul's not there, Akshar Patel's not there. All of those 5 players who are in contention are not there. Ridham Saha, he's a backup keeper, but he's not worthy of being there. They should have put KL Rahul in charge in front of Saha, in my opinion, in the 15-man squad. So New Zealand, Conway's played himself into a position. Latham will as well. Then the first dropper of Williamson, although Will Young is there floating around. Taylor, Henry Nicholls, BJ Watling. Then you move into de Granholm, So again, I'll go through that again. So you got Latham with Conway, Williamson, Taylor, Henry Nichols, Watling. 7 is de Grandhomme. 8 is probably Jamieson, and Bolton, Southie at 9 and 10, and 11 is Wagner. Protect. I'm good. Very good.
I'm trying to find info on here. What a waste of time.
So why Australian players opting out of the West Indies and Bangladesh tour? Himanshu Chowdhury, that's music harmony. The reason is because, well, some of them are just purely overtired. I mean, Warner's claiming that. There's a few claiming that. They wanted a break. That could even extend to the IPL as well. And they'll be ready for the World Cup and the Ashes. So they're focusing on that part of the year. Anyone, Shuttle Tucker should have been in the 15, I would agree. What's that? Can't read it. Get closer. No, I can't read it. No, I can't. It's hard to read. Warner Cummings there, and Maxwell not coming. That's right. That's there. I'm afraid that's what they're saying. Yep. It's not a good situation. Yeah.
Oh, go to elbow. And then, you know what?
So I'm just having a quick look at. Just looking at that scenario you just put forward. There's a lot of concerns about the Australian almost willingness, not non-willingness. You know, it's to me there's a bit of a concern around the way that they do things in Australia at the moment. It seems to me there's been some selection. It's the players are dictating terms as to whether they're playing or not, and I don't think that's the way it should operate. It should be, if the best team's put forward each and every time, you shouldn't have a situation where players that are not the best are, players who are the best deciding to opt out because of their own reasoning. I don't get that at all. Do you, Alan? If you as a player in your time would not dictate terms as to whether you were made available or not, you'd want to be available for everything that moved, wouldn't you? Alan?
Hang on, bear with me.
What are you reading?
Same thing, just bear with me.
I'm just trying to get.
Yeah, just posted.
What?
On Facebook. I just said silly.
I can't. Now, there's a lot of discussion here on the media about the placement of the bowling attack and the spinners, but it's very clear to me that you'll have 2 spinners playing for India and no spinners playing for New Zealand. That seems to be the vibe that's out there. As people are evenly saying New Zealand win and not. Jadeja and Ashwin will play, and in New Zealand's case, Patel won't play, Grandhomme will play. That seems to be the vibe that we're getting from not only those that know ball, but there's people who are in a position to be able to judge. That's pretty much what it is. So Munchie, I'm asking you directly if you're still there. As far as the weather's concerned, because Munchie's been in England all the time, even if it's rain, a result's possible. Confirm to me that a result's possible. And you even said New Zealand have got a better chance. The team that bats first and gets some runs on the board around the 253, or more like 3 to 350 mark if they get the opportunity, will then be able to put the pressure on the opposition so as to make that game very much a pressure match in terms of time. I think on that basis alone, if whoever wins the toss is going to go close to winning.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Given the weather.
Sorry?
Given the weather. Can I change my T-shirt, by the way?
Yeah, not in front of the screen. Leave it on.
Excuse me. Tight.
No, don't take it off in front of me.
That was given to me, folks, by Brian Lara many moons ago.
Very nice. Sit down. All right.
I want
now.
closer to you.
No, but okay. Tell me. Okay.
I think Kohli and Bumrah, Ashwin will outdo New Zealand.
Those three players specifically.
And Pant. I think they will outdo Bolt and Williamson. I think Bumrah's pace will do Williamson. I think that Ashwin is just a genius. And I think Williamson has a point to prove. When he moved into the captaincy for India, he took them to a few different levels. Now, psychology-wise, yes, brilliant. Is he as good as Sachin as a batsman? Don't know. Never bowled him. But I bowled with Sachin, and I know he is a bloody genius.
Well, Munchie's prediction is that Friday will be no play. Saturday will be pretty much all day. And a toss-up where how Sunday to Wednesday go, the Wednesday being the extra day, making it 5 days. I think with Saturday, Sunday, bits of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to see a result. That's my prediction. I'm still believing we're going to see a result.
Norman, have you played at the Rose Bowl?
Sorry?
The Ageas Bowl? Have you played there?
I haven't played there, but I've been to the ground. I haven't played there.
Have you played county cricket for like 20 years?
No, you have.
Are you familiar with English weather?
I've played on a number of English grounds. I've played at Duke of Norfolk,
Are you
at Arundel
familiar with
Castle,
English weather?
played at Hove. Sorry?
Are you familiar with English weather?
Yes, and the amount of I'm very much aware of the amount of effect an overcast day will have with a bit of drizzle. It'll make the outfield rather slow, but the ball will certainly skid and seam and move and be very difficult to play off the square. Very difficult to play off the square.
I think the busiest place for the players at the Ageas Bowl will be the golf course next door.
Well, we no play, in other words.
I don't think so. In my heart of hearts, no. But
apparently it's 27 degrees and sunny in Southampton today, being Wednesday.
Yeah.
2 days to go.
Okay, yes. Well, the English weather is a bit different to Perth.
Yeah. It'll be unfortunate.
I hope we do have something going on, but Norman, in my heart of hearts,
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Your heart of hearts, what?
I'm not sure we have anything going on.
That'll be. If the match is totally ruined, they should try and. Can they postpone it? I guess not. You can't have a tied test. That's just awful. You can't have a drawn test.
Cancel and postpone and do it somewhere else. Like I said to you the other night, you can't compare best teams in the world on the weather and stuff. I've been there for the guys we're talking about. They're watching Munchie, etc. Hey, by the way, Munchie, get your mates on board. It's my home ground, and I know the weather. In my heart of hearts, I really hope something special happens, because this is, like we said the other night, Norman, the equivalent of Kerry Packer's World Series. Who is the best? There'll be a few quirks, a few dodgy things, iron out stuff, but maybe this is it. But yeah, the weather, I'm not convinced. I know it breaks your heart. It breaks my heart.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, I can't stand this. I'm looking forward.
I want to see a wicket. Ginger green.
Okay.
you crack on, you bowl quick, blah, 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 and then you bat a good test wicket. The third day, fourth day, it starts to turn. And then may the best team win.
I'm just looking at the squads. If Shubman Gill doesn't open, it's the only option would be to bring Vihari into the batting lineup and perhaps put someone else up to open with Kohli, which could be any number of other players that are there. But Rahul to open instead of Gill. Now, Munchie, Rahul can't play instead of Gill because Rahul's not in the final 15. Munchie, the final 15 does not include KL Rahul, Washington Sundar, Axar Patel, Shardul, and also Shardul Thakur, and also I think it was the other player that Agarwal for the main five that were not in that 11. So KL Rahul's not there. Ridham Saha is there. He's in the 15. So they've got. I'm trying to find the full 15. I've got it here somewhere, and it's a bit of a shock. They're making a statement that they're not going to include some of the young-blooded players who obviously did well in Australia. So none of those players, and Rajan's obviously not there too. I'm just trying to find.
Hey, Norman, can you do me a favour?
Yeah. What?
Can you tell Yamastedi Vital and all his mates to spread the word that this thing with us is going to be a lot bigger? I'm waiting on.
Well, it's not about it being a lot bigger. It'll be different. It'll be more regarding players, ex-players.
Brian's Cron, could be here before the Test match. Yep. Jonty Rhodes, Herschel Gibbs, Richard, Richie, Tino Best. He's a character. Darren Gold. Tino
Best. I've actually seen Tino Best bowl at Ageas Bowl for the West Indies versus England, and he came out of the dressing room after having he scored 90 on that day. I think even with the batting score runs. So okay. Here are the 15. Munchie, for your sake as well. Rohit Sharma, Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Pant, Jadeja, Ashwin, Ishant Bumrah, Shami, Siraj. Umesh Yadav is one of the players. Vihari and Saha. So India are making it very, very clear that their batting order will be as it is because they've only got one spare batsman in the backup role, which is Vihari. Saha is a keeper. And then Umesh Yadav and one of the other opening bats. So really, India are making a statement. Their batting order is going to be. The batting order is even stated there what it will be. It's going to be Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Pant, Jadeja, Ashwin, Ishant Sharma, Bumrah, Shami, and then that's probably going to be the 11 with the balance of being Siraj, Umesh, Vihari, and Saha. The only difference will probably be that Siraj might be in that 11. But they've basically announced the team. Almost there. So no hope of anyone else coming in there. They've just announced the side. That's basically the team. The only one that will push his way in will be Siraj. Ridham Saha won't be in the side. Nor Umesh Yadav and Vihari. Those three won't be. The fourth player will probably be either Ishant or Shami or Siraj. One of those three will be not on the side. So they're sticking clearly to what they normally would have. As far as New Zealand are concerned, there's no doubt. We've lost good old Alan there for a minute. He's coming back. So
I'm pushing buttons here, man.
Okay, all right. So I was just saying about the Indian batting sides.
I've got chat. What's chat things? What's that?
Jadeja and Ashwin will be both in the side. The three paces on top of that. And the paces are one of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Can the New Zealand seamer bowling attack be more attacking than Indian seamers? Yeah, you'd have to say yes. Under the conditions which they're going to be up against in Southampton, yes. Spider, as you call it yourself, Al. There's no hope that they're going to be batting long. No team's going to get over 250, I reckon. Maybe the first team might get a 300-plus score, but the other 3 innings will be below 250, below even perhaps 200. Don't you think? If there's going to be play on this wicket.
Williamson against Kohli. Right?
What?
Williamson against Kohli. right?
Yeah.
You got Bumrah against Bolt.
I mean, look.
And then you got to chuck in the X factor, because even I know the game. I'm going to chuck in an X factor who, if India wins the toss or doesn't even win the toss, doesn't matter, will be the X factor for India.
I think Rishabh Pant's still the X factor when it comes to batting. If it was a good, clean set of days,
they're part of the team. They're part of the team, right? Williamson, Kohli, Bumrah, Bolt. One X factor. Yeah, Pant. Yeah, brilliant. They got players as well for New Zealand. One player I think will be the X factor. Just my gut feeling. Can rain, hail, or shine?
That's Bumrah.
Nope.
Is that what you said, Bumrah?
Nope.
Who?
They've got a job to do. Go do your job. You paid to bowl. Go and bowl. You paid to bat. Go and bat. But in this situation, my money is on one certain person who's tall and he's from Madras. Oh, say no more.
Ashwin.
Oh, say no more.
Well, it must be Ashwin. Must be Ashwin. There's no one else who is in that same league. Ashwin's a great bowler. Ashwin's a really, really. Do you think Ashwin will become a legendary bowler?
Yep. He is my X factor.
Yeah, he certainly is. And he didn't play in that match at the Ashes, I can recall. And they had the Sundars and the other players that took their positions, and they did very well. But I think that, Ashwin's going to be a major factor, and so will Jadeja. You can't take Jadeja out of that discussion.
You know what? To be fair, they're all brilliant. They really are.
You mean from India or from both sides?
Both teams. Of course they are. I mean, think about it. We all judge and we all judge. These guys, 14 years of age, 10 years of age, dream of playing for their country. And they're playing in the biggest test match of all time. Win, lose or draw, they've won. They're brilliant.
Do you think you would make the Indian side if you were...
doesn't matter.
I'm saying, would you make the Indian side if you were living in India and brought up in India?
Would I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a confident yeah?
Yeah. Well, nailed it.
Yep. All right. That's good. I'm glad. You have to be confident. You were good enough to play for England. At the time, you could have easily played.
I was given the chance to play for Australia in the showers at Leicester in 1992 or 3.
Hang on, you're getting a Munchie saying goodbye. He's saying, I need to shoot off. Thanks, Norman. And thanks, Alan, for the ball information. Great stuff. All right?
Yeah, of course I would play for India. If we never emigrated, I probably would have played soccer for Man U.
So you would have played soccer for Man U?
Yeah. When you got talent, man. That's the way it is.
So you're saying you're a good enough soccer player to play for Man U? Did you play soccer at a certain level?
Talent is talent, man.
Did you play soccer at a certain level? Can I ask my question?
No.
So how would you know that?
It's very simple. You watch the ball, you flick it around, do your thing. Watch the field.
Okay, in terms of...
You know when you played cricket, right?
Sorry?
Can you imagine, right? Hello, Manish. How are you?
I mean, Manish from Ramani, it's not going to matter because neither Ageas, Patel or Santa's not in there for sure. And I believe that Patel's not in there as well, so he's out of the question. Will Virat Kohli score 100? You said earlier, if he wants to be seen as a Tendulkar or
if he wants to overtake Sachin, make 100.
Yep. I have to agree. This is his moment of reckoning. He's going to have to show himself now because this is his moment of reckoning, for sure. Absolutely.
He's lived on the back of the IPL and all the hype and all the bullshit. I will say bullshit. Sachin never had that. Sachin is a different league.
Yeah. There's no doubt that he is. I mean, no,
you know what?
we're talking about Test cricket.
Here's my breaking news, right? Shane Warne said Virat Kohli is a better player than Sachin. You know why? Because Warne got taken to the cleaners by Sachin. And in 2000, I think it was 2000, I played a game at the Oval. The rest of the world versus the Asian 11, right? So it's against Wasim and Waka and Sachin. I travelled to the ground with Warne. And lo and behold, Warne looked at the team sheet. Sachin was playing. Warne pulled out. I'll say no more.
Okay. India's playing 2 spinners. Guys, India's playing 2 spinners. Period. The other bit of information about we were talking about will Matt Henry replace either Wagner or Jamieson? No, he won't because they've decided on their bowling line. Matt Henry had an opportunity.
I would not play Wagner.
Very well, but he's not playing.
Sorry? Wagner ain't cutting it. Sorry. Bye-bye.
What?
Wagner, go away.
Why?
He's crap.
No, he's not. He's had a very successful bowling career. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, bro, yeah, wonderful. It's crap.
Why? Because he bowls too much short?
Yes. And he can't swing it, and he's crap.
He's a feisty character.
It's like, do you remember, Norman, Chris Matthews?
What? Yeah, he was shocking.
Same thing. Heart of a lion. Oh, big burly. No, you're crap, mate. You've got no finesse. Wagner, do me a favour. You're a lovely lad. You've won South Africa. Had your time. Go fishing.
It was funny how Shane Warne used to get stuck into Chris Matthews, didn't he? He didn't think much of him.
No, Wagner for me.
How does a player get picked for their country if he's rubbish? Explain it to me. How is that possible? How can you get picked for your country if you're rubbish? I don't get that. I don't get that.
Level, he was very good, right? And to start with, his Test career, he was nice. Then he's gone to this bold bouncer theory. Oh my Lord! I'm sorry, Norman. I don't care. Look at the stats. Jesus whiz. Bowl that rubbish to Viv Richards. Bowl that rubbish to Desmond Haynes. Bowl that rubbish to Brian Lara. Bowl that rubbish to Sacha. Bowl that shit to me. Gee whiz. Bouncer at 83 miles an hour. Really? 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 He would be taken to cleaners. My point is, when I spoke to Simon Dill, he goes, "Oh, where's the batsman gone? They can't face
Simon did say that.
They can't face a fast ball. So Cummings and Patterson, they're quick. Really? They're what, 85 mile an hour, 86 mile an hour? Oh, a quick one, Jafra Archer. Oh my Lord, he made 90 mile an hour. That's quick. That's not quick.
Well, at Lord's that time against Australia, when he hit both Steve Smith and Labuschagne, he looked pretty lethal to me.
No, it's not quick. And by the way, Norman, I'm going to butt in. Oh my Lord, and he's injured again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Really?
He looked pretty good to me.
No, put it next to Malcolm Marshall. Where's Macron? Me in my heyday. You got the videos. Alan Donald. Seriously quick. He was called White Lightning for a reason.
So was Alan Donald a better bowler than who we got? Who's the more recent one? Alan Donald and sorry?
Geoff Archer?
No. The other South African bowler of great notes, Dale Steyn. Alan Donald, Dale Steyn.
Different league. Now, Steyn is brilliant, right? Make no mistake. Brilliant. But you've got to bear in mind, Alan Donald played 10 years of county cricket, day in, day out. He was called White Lightning for a reason.
So you faced Alan Donald, didn't you?
Oh, God, yeah.
So was he the fastest bowler you ever faced?
Him, Wazim, and Wazim and Brett Lee.
Fastest, I talk, the fastest. Was Brett Lee the fastest? Was he?
No.
Who was? Don't put any more videos on. Hang on. Here's the question here. What do you think? Which 5 or 4 bowlers for New Zealand? Okay, it's going to be de Grandhomme, Bolts, Southey, Wagner, and the other bowler will be Jameson. That's just your 5, and the 6 batters will be, as I've said earlier, from the likes of Latham, Conway, Williamson, Taylor, Henry Nichols, and Watland. Even though Will Young deserves a chance, he won't be getting a Guernsey, unfortunately. But he probably is good enough to be there and will probably be the next to take the place of a Ross Taylor or whoever. So if you're sending me a website, you're sending me a link, I can see that, but I can't look at it now. All right. All right, Al. We're going to wrap it up now. Your thoughts for today? Summarise your thoughts about today.
You're having a recurring dream about New Zealand.
Okay, Alan, enough. Stop playing it. Okay, that's a good question. How effective is Jamieson against India? So far at this point. Okay, all right. Alan, okay. Alan, we'll watch that later. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Don't put it on. Alan, don't put it on, okay?
My thoughts for today? What a great day. I'm trying to get hold of a few people that these guys don't need to know about. Jonty Rose, Hunter Conyers' brother, Viv Richards, Mitchie Richardson, Tina Best, a few others.
And Danny Morrison, what's happening with Danny Morrison?
And him as well.
Sorry?
He's busy, but all being lined up for Friday.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff.
But
all right, Alan, we'll say goodbye now. We'll say goodbye, and I'll talk to you a bit later after. It's still a bit of a close. Thanks for your time again, Alan, especially the discussion on the way you hold the ball. It was extremely interesting. We mustn't forget, viewers, that this man here next to me on screen has played against the best, from your Laras, your Tendulkars, the Pontings, the Callisons.
I made my debut in the Sheffield Shield final, wearing my brother's clothes and a pair of tracksuit pants. Against Ian Botham, Alan Border, the Australian captain, Greg Ritchie, Craig McDermott, Carl Rackman, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I wear this t-shirt not for a laugh. Well, send me a laugh. It was still it was given to me by Brian Lara.
2 players we're going to finish with. I want a sentence on Pujara and a sentence on Ashwin. You've already said Ashwin will be the match winner, will be the man of the match person. What about Pujara?
Don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? He's proven himself a few times to be extremely important to this Indian side. So I can't see that being any different in this match. You'd have to say that.
I think it's going to come down to putting runs on the board. I think if India wins the toss, they win the game. Well, no, that's wrong. You know what, Norman? I'm going to be quite blunt. It's a complete muzzle. You know why? It's going to rain a lot. And my house is down the road from the ground, right? If it has the weather forecast, not going to happen.
All right. Last comment before we go. Bolt or Southey? Who's the premier bowler heading into the final? They're pretty good pairing, aren't they?
They're both bowled too short.
Both?
They're not
Southey
aggressive enough to be a bouncer.
Give me an answer.
They're
Bolt or
both-
short?
they're both-
Bolt or South?
They're both lovely cricketers, nice bowlers. They need to fine-tune their Yorker, need to fine-tune their bumper, make their bumper a yard quicker. And then their stop ball in and out. Yeah. Carry on.
But you said Bolt before was probably more important. I would argue Southey is, but that's out. All right, Alan.
They're both
That's enough.
brilliant.
We've gone an hour and 50
both
minutes now.
Brilliant. They're both brilliant.
Okay. All right, Alan. Thanks for your time again. It's been great to have Alan.
And I'm
on.
only saying that, you know why? Because where
Why?
Bolton and Southey come from, and someone do, it's good fishing.
All right, Alan. Goodbye, mate. We'll talk to you again later on. Take it easy. All right.
Yeah.
So we need to sign off. I'm gonna do a bit of a monologue. Do a monologue to finish, and then we'll go from there. All right. So thanks, Alan. Just sign off, and we'll see each other very soon. All right.
Coley, Bumrah, Bolt, Williamson. If the weather was perfect, right, and then Ashwin would be the difference, I think.
All right.
But unfortunately, God willing, but I'm not sure.
All right. I'll talk to you later after the broadcast. Give me about 10 minutes,
That's
and I'll
good.
talk to you. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Alan.
Bye.
Ciao. I don't think we realise how significant that is. Alan's a fantastic person to listen to. He has a great discussion, what he talks about. He's a person who has certainly provided us with a great sense of purpose to the history of cricket, and I thank him for that. So everybody, just make sure that we will go to our next show, which will be a mix of other people on that show. So it'd be great to have that happening very soon. So I'll be able to make sure that happens, and I'll just go. Okay, that's the reality is that it's going to be a great session into the future. The influence of India will always be there. So, Kuldeep Chandula, I'm not going to have you come on. Maybe another time. Just quickly to end. Okay, again, we'll go through to finish off. I'll go through the sides. We can talk more about that later. We've got the batting sides of Sharma and Gill. That's not going to change. Sharma, Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Punt 6, Jadeja 7, Ashwin 8. Very solid. Then Bumrah, Shami, and Siraj and Ishant will make the 12, and one of those bowls will miss out. New Zealand, however, I've got a bit of a dilemma. They may or may not put a spinner in. It doesn't look like they will. And again, Latham combined with Conway has to happen. Williamson, a bit of a cloud over Will Young being there, but he's not going to happen. Williamson, then Ross Taylor, Henry Nicholls, that's the top 5, with 6 being Watling, 7, of course, being de Grandhomme. And then you've got 4 bowlers, and they're the 4 pace bowlers of Bolton, Southey, Wagner, and Jamieson. Very strong. 5 bowlers, 4 fast and 1 medium. Quite a dramatic selection. And New Zealand will bet with me. I'm not betting with you, but I'll tell you what, you could well be right. A lot of people talk about New Zealand winning. It's intriguing. It's a bit of a death knell on New Zealand. I think there have been so many issues with these matches where they don't win in that the most important match, and that's a very big question to ask. Very, very big question to ask. It's not good at all. All right, guys, we still have a fair bit of time, but I think we've had a fantastic session. I think it's important that we allow our viewers to get some rest. I'm going to talk to you more tomorrow, same time, and that'll be the 17th. On the eve, it'll be the eve of the match, and then on the 18th, we'll have 2 sessions, one before and one after, on all 5 days. Now, hopefully we get play on the first day. It doesn't look very good. Second day looks like a good playing day, and the third day does as well, tapering off for the 4th and 5th, with the 6th being exercised because of day one being abandoned, I guess. So Cold Leaf Chandler says, your 11 looks Ageas getting something. You're saying that Ageas Patel will play. I don't think that's going to be the case. What will they do if the match is drawn? It'll be a draw. Both teams will share the prize of the World Test Championship, which is disgraceful. Shouldn't be the case. You can't have that. You should have some mechanism to make sure that it's as a result, regardless. Very, very frustrating for me to see that there's going to be a non-result. No, I can't. And both teams will not go with that attitude. You watch. They'll declare early. They'll take risks for someone to win the match. I think that's going to be the play of the day. It'll be great to see. I'll be very happy if that is the case. Indeed. All right. Any other questions? Who did time pass 2 days? How did time pass? It's going to be hard. It's getting closer, especially if we don't. It'll be even harder if there's a third day, because if the first day is washed out, we're even more frustrated. They may toss though. The man of the series, or this man of the match series, they're saying Ashwin could well be. Who'll win the? I'm saying India. My heart says India. My head's saying New Zealand. But the heart often wins out. All right, guys. We're not getting any serious questions here, so we might call it quits here. All right. So thanks again for your time. Please view, like, and share the posts. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and hit the so-called notification button so you'll be notified of these events. On top of that, share your knowledge of this. Share the link to this particular YouTube channel to your friends and WhatsApp groups, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, email, whatever method you do, and get people to also subscribe and make this channel grow. There's a membership level as well, but subscriptions will be more than enough to start with. And don't forget to hit the notification button so you're aware of anything going on. Okay? So thank you. What will we do if the match is drawn? I'll have a big bloody cry. I'm going to be very upset because I don't want to see that sort of. I don't like that. That would be the worst. It's a nightmare. It'll be tied. It's not tied. It'll be shared. The winner will share. Of course, Hitman, we're talking, will hit the century. That's, of course, Rohit Sharma or the other Spider-Man or Punt Mania. Look out for my hashtags Punt Mania. You'll have a lot more there. All right, guys. Any other questions? Will Hitman hit a century? Rohit Sharma? I don't think any batter is going to score a century. But I think if anyone's going to, it'll be hopefully Rohit Sharma. The openers are Rohit Sharma and Gill have to bat well. Conway and Latham have to bat well to set the match up. If India will bat first, we'll score 350 plus. If they do, they'll win the match. Very, very clear. If they actually do win the toss and they score 350, they're going to win the match. Or be in a position to win the match. Virat Kohli and Williamson are both, who would argue, out of form. So they really haven't showed any great form. And there's a concern as to whether they'll actually play well in this match. But it may be the day of reckoning. Alan Mohali earlier said, if Virat Kohli wants to have a stamp of a Lara or a Tendulkar, this is his moment when he can do that. And that's the big thing about it. How's the pitch in Southampton? We've been talking about this the whole time. We've said that the fact is at the moment it's a belter. It's sunny and it's 27 degrees. If it rains, and therefore dry and therefore crusty and therefore it's going to spin. But if it rains, it'll certainly change the dynamics of the ground, and we'll see that happening. So, yeah, let's leave it at that. Okay. All right. So it's now time to go. There's no other questions. Well, Neil Wagner, he certainly is a villain. He bowls that lovely short ball. There is an overcast format. Yes, there is overcast and drizzle. Still can get cricket on. I think it's going to suit the bowling on both sides. There's no doubt about that at all. No doubt about that at all. No doubt at all. Come on, guys. If you want me to end, it will win, of course. It's a great statement. I think the overcast weather will have an effect. Yes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes more, guys. Asking questions before I hang up. Because I think we've we've overstayed our welcome here. Indian playing 11, I've already said that, guys. Go back and look at the video and you'll see that we've talked about that. The team batting first should win. They should win the toss and bat first. The weather's going to be pretty ordinary. Let's hope we get some match time. Day 1, the Friday, looks like it's going to be washed out. Day 2, play. Day 3, part of the play. Day 4, part play. So we're looking at getting 2 or 3 days in there then, and then with the extra day added on, it should lead to a game of winning. So AP Gunner saying you ignored. I ignored what? Okay. The pitch is going to be not relevant. It's an ICC ordained pitch. It'll be take pace and bounce with it perhaps weakening towards the end for a bit of spin. So it's basically an all-round pitch of great standing. There's no issue with the ground being the pitch being substandard. It'll be a great standard and very, very fair. What upper question? AP Gunner, I don't know what the upper question means. I didn't see it. I don't see it. Okay. Can you send video you were talking about? Is there one with millions? Yes, that's on Sri Harsha. Sri Harsha, SREE Harsha cricket. It's there. Okay. Sri Harsha cricket. I can't send it here. I'm trying to put a link in the actual post discussion. All right, guys. We've got more people here than we had before. So that's where it is. AP Gunner, if you go to Sri Harsha, SREE Harsha, HARSHA, cricket, and it's about the 10th video down. Okay, all right. Can't bring Chris Vernon; he's not available. He'll be available during the match, though. That's for sure. Okay. So a lot of people. I'm getting a stable of people to come on. This is pre-match stuff, guys. This is not the big McCoy. This is not the game yet. So yeah, we won't have the problem just now. All right. Just checking on the situation of the women's cricket. Let's go to the women's cricket for a minute. Women's cricket, what's the score there? At lunch, England are 1 for 86, a very strong start. Pretty good. All right. Let's need to. Okay, guys. All right. AP Gunner, I just said what's happening with England. England women won the toss and chose to bat. And they're 1 for 98. They've actually come back from lunch now after 31 overs. And 1 for 98. You've got Heather Knight, who's Tammy Beaumont, who's batting well. She's on 51. Heather Knight's she's 9. The scorecard is 1 for 98. The first wicket was Lauren Winfield Hill, who was caught by the keeper Bartia, bowled for Straka. And yeah, so that situation's pretty clear. Tammy Beaumont's in bat. And they're looking pretty good at 1 for 98. Pretty good indeed. Okay. All right. So I've had both Alan Mullally on today and Siddharth Vishwanathan. He was on earlier. They were both great to have on the show, I must say. All right, guys. I think it's time to go. All right. All the best to you. New Zealand the loser. They could be. Could you please Cook, Kevin? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. But Coley made a centre to practice match. It's irrelevant. The practice match was just a practice match. A whole heap of batsmen batted well in the practice match. And the bowlers didn't bowl that badly either, but the batters had a field day. And it is a practice match. It's a net practice, a centre wicket practice. I wouldn't take that into account as being any evidence of what the way that you can't judge that on that basis. It's not worthy of that, guys. All right. No other last questions, and I'll go then. All right, guys. I think we've done enough for the session today. And with a bit of luck, we'll see you all tomorrow. We'll have more guests on. This is the match. It'll be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Sorry. It'll be 4:30 IST, 12 noon, England time, 9 p.m. Australian time, or West Coast where Alan is, will be 7 p.m. That'll be the last one live show for the day, which will be the eve of the test match. The next day we'll have a pre-match discussion, post-match for all 5 days. If it's washed out the first day, then maybe you don't need for a post-match discussion. If it's washed out, we may just have the pre. Okay. Good night, guys. All the best to you. All right. I think we're just about done. I'm just going to check if everything's okay. And it seems to be. All right. Good night. All the best to you guys. But don't forget to view, like, and share the posts. There's you can see my Twitter and Instagram handles. You can go about subscribing, press the button, press the subscribe to subscribed. If you've got an account, you should get an account, and then you should be notified. Hit the notification button so you'll be notified when the next video is, and share on your Facebook Messenger, your Instagrams, your WhatsApps, your email services, a link to this particular YouTube channel so that other people can subscribe and join in as well. That would be great to have that. All right. So that's it for me. All right, guys, take it easy. Okay, thank you. This is a good parting comment. I like that. I like that. That's my. I rather like that. That's a bit of a comfort to have people saying that. Please make comments in the post comment section, not just in the live chat. Where you're doing live chat now. Where am I from? I am from Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. So in the state of New South Wales, Coogee Beach, near the beach, Coogee Beach, Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. How come we're getting more people joining us? It's disturbing. If anyone needs any last 50 odd people that came on just now, just give me a question and then I'll finish up. I've got a bit of time, but I do want to go. People always seem to come at the last minute. I don't know why they do, but they do. It's an unusual situation. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. So please go live with Cook or Kevin or Kuldeep. Cook as in Alistair Cook, Kevin as to Kevin Peterson, or Kuldeep Yadav. Well, Kuldeep Yadav is on the... Okay, guys. All right, we'll talk soon. All the best.